Alrighty. Let's just do a quick energy check and see if anything comes through. Anything that you need to know or could benefit from hearing or seeing. Let's go for something empowering. If you can. You've got the Three of Cups. These cutie patooties. And the Devil. A different kind of cutie patootie. You know, if you're into all that. Those are two very weird ways to start off right there. Ace of Wands. And the Hanged Man came out like a stunning little acrobat. And let's try one more. The King of Swords. And the Page of Wands. It is as light as it is dark. We have somebody who is straddling two worlds. 1 foot in the light and 1 foot in the shadows. Beautiful. And you're handling it really gracefully. Okay, right off the bat, I'm reading the energy for somebody who is exceptionally resilient, who has no problem with the dark. How appropriate with this dark setting. We're talking about somebody who has no problem in the dark. It's like you live there. You have a home there. And by the dark, I mean the mystery. I mean uncomfortable or unsettling thoughts or feelings that the average person perhaps spends their entire life running away from or blocking out. You benefit a lot from learning about your own darkness. Shadow work is something that you were like born to do and you're proud of it. You are evolved in a way people can't touch you. Because you can't fuck with somebody who knows themselves inside and out, who knows their light and their shadow self. You can't trigger them. Nobody can the way they can trigger themselves, and you so be fucking aware how you speak to this person. This is an angel or a devil, you choose, depending on how you address this person. This is a really cool person. Who are you? And why are you so cool? How are you so cool? What have been your experiences? Well, it looks like the tarot cards are telling me something that you really struggled with, maybe in a past life or in the previous era of this lifetime, is boundary setting. If you have the Devil and the Hanged Man, it makes me feel very much like you have a way of feeling people and channeling people, especially their emotions, in a way that even they can't really channel themselves and feel themselves. So what I mean by boundary setting is being affected by other people's moods way too deeply, and also having to carry the burden of other people projecting their shit onto you. Back in the day, this is something that tripped you up. It made you lose your concept of self, your sense of self, your identity was tangled up in other people's bullshit. And it was not your fault, because this is an empathetic spread. This is a person who feels other people and can identify with anybody. You're the kind of person probably who, no matter who you talk to, a stranger on the street, wherever they're from, whatever language they're speaking, it doesn't matter. You can identify with them because you have felt all there is to feel, and you have like a claircognizant base for human emotion and human thought. People can tell you about a conundrum that is completely alien to you, that you have never experienced or fathomed, but in that moment as they're describing it, you know exactly what it feels like, and you know what advice to give. This kind of shit happens when you have somebody with one foot in the light, one foot in the dark, and has been going through life feeling and caring other people. So today you're chilling out, but there are still some problems. There are some things in your energy still that are residual of someone, something, or someplace else. Maybe you were somewhere today or this week, and when you left, you came home, you did your own thing, you went on your own path, but without realizing something was still stuck on you, a gunk from some past energy that's stuck. So you're still kind of like struggling with it because you think you have to transmute it, because you think that it's yours, but it's not. That one belongs to one of your friends. And it looks like it wasn't a negative thing. It looks like somebody was feeling maybe fearful or insecure. And you identified so hardcore that it kind of like fucked with you a little. Moving forward, you carried it with you. I think this is something you deal with a lot, especially for the people you love. It's unconscious, so it's a curse as much as a blessing. Not for long though, because it looks like you're learning more or less. It looks like you're really self-aware that this is something that you struggle with, and it's something you're constantly working on, which means you won't have to be working at it for much longer. You're gonna get this down pat pretty soon if you haven't already. But this week was right now is a weird moment where somebody's in your energy and it's not you. And it's triggering more than anything your fears of starting something new. It's like a big hosing down this little light of mine candle. There's something you're in the process of letting go of as you move forward. I discussed this energy that's more something that occurred recently, like today or this past week. But in general, I think that there was a much bigger thing here. There was a specific person in your past who, unlike your friends, as I formerly described, it was actually, at least partly deliberately, fucking with your energy. He's a little bit of a theme here. I don't like him. Chuck him. I don't like him. King of Swords is my favorite king, but the way he came out here made me... For one of the first times in my life, I don't like this King of Swords. He's usually that's my king. I love King of Swords. I identify with the King and the Queen of Swords. I don't typically see them in a negative light like this. But something he did do was trigger something inside you that was able to create a defense for shit like this, and to have some kind of a foresight or insight into people who operate like this. You learned a lot from him. Unbeknownst to him. And probably much to his dismay. People with bad intentions always get it. And the people that they hurt who had good intentions always get the good that they deserved and that was taken from them. People need to understand this. That guy is learning it though. Anyway, dude is still in your energy, but more than anything, you're learning to block him out. And it's like he taught you how to deal with people and how to protect your own boundaries by accident. So what's empowering about this? Because, as I mentioned, but what's the more specifically empowering thing here? Because that is the nature of our reading today. I saw that little dance you did. 4 of Swords, if you can see it. Cutie patootie is resting there. Good. So what's empowering is that you've learned how to isolate yourself and work on yourself without feeling shame or guilt and telling people, stop. Not today. So not today. That's very empowering and beautiful. I can relate. Okay, what else? Justice. Yeah. You're working on bringing back the balance. You straddle the border between 2 worlds, light and dark. Yeah. That is the empowering message. And then we've got the Queen of Swords. That's more like it. Now that's my girl. Yeah. Queen of Swords is you. She has really strong perception, really strong intuition, and her words cut like a fucking knife. That's why I say people shouldn't be fucking with you. It's like you can zero in on a person's greatest insecurities and put it right in front of them and dangle it in front of their face if they test you. Equally, you can take a person's greatest strengths that they don't even know exist, the most beautiful part of their soul, and put it on display for them to see it for themselves. It's what you do. That's why people need to know how to come at you if they want to benefit or get fucked. Good for you. I love how he's standing here looking forward, but you're standing here looking at him. This tells me that whoever this was is looking forward and trying to move on with his life, but he can't see anything, not laterally, not in his periphery. And you're standing here looking at him with your sword, and you have your arms stretched out like, come at me, bro. Try me. I see you, and my energy still has one eye on you. So I think he's a little bit frozen in time and doesn't know why he can't move forward. It's because he's got healing to do that he's been ignoring. And you'll be damned if he comes back to you to get it. Because you were there for him enough, and he chose to abuse that. It's not your problem. But you see him for what he is now, not a king of swords. He's not all that smart. The king of wands. The king of wands to me is like the least admirable of the kings, because he reminds me of the king of phalluses. He reminds me of a kind of somebody who abuses their power, especially to, feed or appease his own sexual desires. And they can't even be called sexual, because sexual is a beautiful thing. This is the grimy lust, right? So he's sitting here like, no, the Queen of Swords. And you're like, no, no, bitch. I'm the king and the Queen of Swords. You are the King of Wands at most. Knight of Swords. Knight of Wands. Stay the fuck away. That's... People who did you dirty are gonna get that dirt on them times 10. God damn it, why don't people learn this? You don't even mean to be doling out this bad karma, but it just happens. When you do good and when you do your work and when you get somebody attacking you, you don't have to... no matter how much you want to save them from that punishment, you can't. The universe fucking saw that. You tried. It's like that Simpsons meme with Mrs. Krabappel. She's smoking in class and she's like, whatever, I tried. Only you actually tried, and you're not just some bitter old person who shouldn't be a teacher. You actually tried. So now you're sitting here like, whatever, I tried. Goodbye. One more thing we need to hear. One more thing we want to hear. Let's remove ourselves from that energy. Bring in something new and pretty. two sixes, the Six of Cups and the Six of Pentacles. And the Hermit, which is card number 9, but a 9 is an upside down 6. So we have 666. Oh, did you hear that crack? I'm my own chiropractor. Okay. Got Virgo, Taurus, and Scorpio. After everything that you've been through, all of the bullshit, you still want to be able to help the people who even hurt you because you know what all is coming. That's really beautiful of you. But you're working on keeping that to yourself now. You're learning that not everybody, the more you give to some people, the more they're going to take it like parasites. Everybody's a parasite until they work on their own healing. They're just sucking from other people. But you learned to keep it to yourself, though your heart still longs to help heal the world, especially those who need it most. And that's something really beautiful about you. Somebody who lives in this much darkness and has her whole life have found a way to create a sunny utopia in the darkest pitch black of blacks. In the darkest of moonless, starless nights. It's impossible to put out your light. Who I'm reading for is a really amazing, spectacular healer and thinker and feeler and doer. You have no problem being yourself and expressing your authentic truth, whatever it may be, unless it's something that's gonna hurt somebody's feelings. You hold in so much and you don't express yourself most of the time because your truth is so deep that it's jarring for people to have to dive to those depths. It's like an abyss for them. They get lost and scared. So where you live is a really lonely place, but like, then how come you never feel lonely? It's because you're surrounded by so much beauty that you created. You are your own community and support system. Not to mention you're probably surrounded by a lot of like light angels and dark angels, because you work with both and they both respect you, and they both know that most of the time there's nothing to punish, there's only to support when it comes to you. What is it that you do? What's your vocation or hobby, or what do you do for this world? Because it seems like it's kind of intensely important in a way that you don't get credit. Let's see. What do you do and who are you? And what do you do and who are you? 3 of Wands. What do you do and who are you? What do you do and who are... I saw that. I saw you, little jumping jellyfish. Page of Wands. Knight of Swords. Who are you and what do you do? Who are you and what do you do? How are you changing our world every day just by existing in it? The Hermit, bruh. This is... You carry the weight of the world on your shoulders and nobody even understands that, because the way that you do it is with your emotions. You carry it with you wherever you go. Even when you separate from the people you love, you carry them with you in your heart in such a way that it's like a psychic, energetic thing that it lightens their burden even if they're on the other side of the planet, because of the way that you share their burden and carry it with love and think about them and worry about them. The way that you affect this world is so fucking covert, incognito. something is like, I haven't seen many Scorpio cards, just one, but there's something very Scorpio, if not 8th house energy about you. And we have the 8 of Cups, which reminds me of that. Your power is so fucking underrated and overlooked because people don't operate the way you do, and people are only able to see in you as much as they've been able to discover in themselves and of life. You live in such a deep, deep, deep place, and you operate from that secret, impossible to reach netherworld that people are not even able to grasp what it is you do for them. And it's like you prefer it that way though, because you don't like the burden of feeling like somebody's in debt to you either. You do everything, and everybody probably acts like you do nothing, to be honest. That's the curse of somebody who holds this much power and is that humble and exists on such another level that there's nobody frequenting the places you frequent. It's tumbleweeds and you. And you love it because you're so strong and it's your world and you feel free there and you know you can handle it. And you do with finesse. Queen of Swords is never fucking around. And she's a fucking genius. And a healer. Maybe you work with kids, or you help people on their journey when they're starting something new. There's something about your energy that when other people meet you, they mysteriously have so much good fortune, and they think it's just them and life, which it is, but the way that you affect people's energy is like you magnify it times 10 and you expedite the process of positive karma or negative, depending on what path that person's been down and what all has built up from their past behaviors that hasn't been checked. If kids have goals and they express their dreams to you, it's almost like you're a genie. You don't mean to, but just having that's wow. What? Your energy is designed in a way that when people tell you their greatest dreams, you imagine it in your mind in a way that manifests it for them. People become addicted to your energy unconsciously because they don't know that this is what's happening, that you're manifesting their dreams. They can't fathom that, but they are addicted to you because they do feel something miraculous and uplifting about you, intoxicating. So much so that when people continue down their own roads, and if they for some reason are separated from you, they start to see their blessings slow down. Some of these people have realized that in those moments of time, all they have to do is remember you and all the loving things that you said to them and all the logical ways you broke down how their dream is a reality and could easily be, if not already. And even that is enough to expedite their luck again. What you give to people is all of their dreams. Somehow, just by your capacity to believe they deserve it, with such a conviction that your angels and demons get to work. Because you said, and they agree because they saw. So when you channel your focus on a person and want to see them lift up, you don't have to do much but just wish it. And you've got a whole army of something, I don't know, ancestors. They're always with you, and they do more work for everyone else than they do for you. Because you got it. You've got your own shit together, and you do shit for yourself. And they help and they protect for sure. But what you revert to them for most, and when you go back and call on them and ask for help and pray, like, you do that more often than not for other people than yourself. Wow. It's a light worker, shadow worker, genie in a bottle that nobody could fit in but you. That's really beautiful. That's... Who the fuck are you? And how did you find my page? And thank you. I said, who the fuck are you? And you said the moon. I'll bet. You live in the shadows. And you built a bright ball of sun in that shadow so that it's never dark, not for you, not in there. Beautiful. Thank you. That was a really incredible experience. I am humbled and in awe. Thank you, whoever all it is that you are. I didn't even know those kinds of powers existed. I didn't know there was such a thing as literal genies in a bottle in human form. That's what you are. That's incredible. Thank you. I learned a lot and I'm uplifted. Alrighty. That'll do. Good night.